Night's Night classifies itself as a 1-bit precision platformer, and there will be absolutely zero confusion on where the 1-bit part comes in. With the game's entirely black and white look, it leans heavily into minimalist visuals, which some might call a stylistic choice. However, this lack of detail and virtually no biome diversity leaves the world feeling flat, repetitive, and devoid of personality. With such minimal presentation, it falls on the gameplay to carry the experience, and this is where the title stumbles. Over the course of 25 levels, which took me just under an hour and a half to complete, the core platforming mechanics never managed to feel satisfying. The controls are far from precise, which is a fatal flaw as the game demands careful jumping and tight movement. What should be a test of skill instead ends up being a battle against the game's own inconsistencies. Perhaps the worst offender though is the hit detection. The hitboxes are so unpredictable and poorly implemented that you'll find yourself taking damage from hazards you seemingly didn't touch. Damage feedback is also poorly indicated. You might not even notice you've been hit unless you look at your HP bar or die because you were on your last one. At least there are some checkpoints, which you have hopefully come across, because sometimes they are on a particular part of a branching path. It's a frustrating experience that makes retrying levels more of a chore than a challenge. As you progress, you will unlock a dash, double jump, and then an air dash, which once obtained make it really seem like they should have just been there from the start to mask some of the poor platforming. Perhaps the motivation was to have the player return to previous levels for missed collectibles. Unfortunately, the collectibles, like many other game elements, were conceptually good, but failed to deliver upon implementation. The biggest issue is that they seem to serve no meaningful purpose, making hunting them down lack any sort of rewarding feeling. I admittedly did not find them all to verify if something happens, but finding the majority of them provided absolutely nothing outside of the ability to view them in their own separate section of the main menu. In a genre that lives or dies on tight controls and rewarding level design, Night's Night offers neither. Its aesthetic might initially intrigue fans of retro visuals, but any goodwill is quickly stripped away by sloppy mechanics and uninspired content. If you squint hard enough, you might spot some potential here, but it's buried beneath too many missteps to actually recommend, even at its minimal price tag. Night's Night earns a 2 out of 10.